Halloween night may seem like harmless fun and costumes. But for some, it marks the beginning of a nightmare they'll never wake up from. You're watching your channel name, where real stories are told in a way that might just make you afraid to sleep with the lights off. Turn off your phone, put on your headphones, and make sure you're somewhere safe, because what you're about to hear is not for the faint of heart. Story 1. I'm a therapist, but he knew what I was thinking. My name is Nancy. I'm a therapist at a small mental health center in rural Maine. I love my job, but I never thought that helping people heal could lead me into one of the most terrifying experiences of my life. It started with a new patient, Tyler, a quiet teenager withdrawn after the loss of his mother. He came in with his father, Tom, a tall man in his 50s with deep-set eyes and an unsettling calmness that wrapped around the room like fog. Tom never said a word. He just sat silently in the corner of my office watching. Not his son. Me. He never blinked, never looked away. I tried to focus on Tyler, on guiding him through grief, but that stare, it stuck in my mind long after they left. I told myself I was overthinking. I've seen strange things in this job. But the next morning I found a withered bouquet on my doorstep. Attached was a handwritten note. "You're very patient. Tyler needs that. I admire the way you said, 'Feel the pain, don't run from it.'" That exact phrase I had only said once, during their session, with no one else in the room. My stomach dropped. I wanted to believe Tom was just a grieving father, maybe with a sharp memory. But something about it felt invasive, intimate in a way it shouldn't be. Days later, it got worse. I woke up at 3 a.m. to the softest knocking at my front door. Not pounding, just a gentle tap over and over, like someone inviting me out. With curiosity, I peeked through the curtain. No one, no. But the motion light outside hadn't turned on. I double-locked everything and tried to fall back asleep. The next morning I found a muddy footprint beneath my bedroom window. Next to it a small orange ribbon, my favorite color. I had mentioned that in passing, during a casual chat with Tyler. I called the police. They were sympathetic, took my statement. But without solid proof, there wasn't much they could do. They suggested I install cameras. I did. Immediately. A week later, I reviewed the footage. A blurry figure, just standing behind the hedges, for 20 minutes, not moving, just watching my house, his face swallowed by the dark. That night, as I was cleaning up in the kitchen, I heard a whisper so close it felt like it came from just behind my ear. "You're tired, aren't you, Nancy?" I froze. The voice was Tom's. I spun around. Nothing inside. I yanked the curtain open, and there he was standing under the dim yellow porch light, holding a pumpkin carving knife, his eyes wide, unblinking, a crooked smile across his face. "I just wanted to make you smile," he said softly. "I know how much you love fall." I slammed the door, locked every bolt, and called the police. They caught him minutes later, lingering behind my house. In his backpack were dozens of photos of me, sleeping, walking to my car, sitting at my desk. There was even a notebook filled with details about what I wore, what I ate, what I said every day for 2 weeks. Tom was arrested for stalking and unlawful trespassing. But even now, months later, I still don't sleep through the night. Because sometimes around 3 a.m., I hear something by the window. Not knocking, just breathing. And a whisper, just barely audible over the silence. "I know you're listening, Nancy." Story 2. The Faceless Man in the Pumpkin Patch. I used to think Halloween was just about costumes and candy, a harmless night to pretend. But in 2021, that changed. Permanently. That night, my three closest friends, Ryan, Jake, and Brittany, convinced me to check out an abandoned pumpkin farm on the edge of our small town. It used to host one of those cheesy haunted maze houses until people said someone vanished there. Of course, being curious teenagers, we couldn't resist. The air was cold and damp. A thick fog rolled in over the fields. My flashlight flickered the moment we passed the county line, the first warning I should have listened to. The iron gate creaked open on its own rust, screaming through the quiet like it had been waiting. Just inside stood a scarecrow. Tall. Too tall. Its eyes were hollow holes. Its mouth stitched shut. Next to it a hand-scrawled sign, "Do not enter. We're still here." Ryan laughed. Jake kicked the sign over. Brittany didn't say a word. At the center of the field was a half-collapsed wooden house, gray leaning to one side. It looked like it hadn't stood straight in years. We entered through the back, stepping into a wave of mold rot. And something dead. I raised my light. There were bloodstains on the wall, and a message scratched into the wood. "He still waits." Before I could react, Brittany screamed. She pointed toward the staircase. There in the corner was a man slamming his head against the wall again and again, with every impact fresh blood splattered. But he didn't have a face. Just wrinkled skin, no eyes, no mouth, no features. Like skin stretched over bone, smooth and empty. We froze. He stopped. Then slowly, he turned his head toward us as if he could feel our gaze. And then came the sound. A screech, metallic and sharp like claws scraping against steel. He dropped to all fours and charged. We ran. Out the front door, hearts slamming in our chests. I looked back. He was chasing us on all fours, moving like a spider, faster than any human should. Ryan tripped. The thing lunged, but Jake grabbed him just in time. We stumbled into the pumpkin field. My flashlight died. Darkness swallowed us. All we could hear was breathing, wet, labored, right behind us. We ducked behind an old trailer near the edge of the property, held our breath. Silence. Then a shape moved across the other side, a black figure gliding just beyond the fog. No footsteps, no sound, like it was floating just above the ground. We waited. 5 minutes. 10. No one dared speak. Eventually, we made a plan, split up and make a run for the car. I reached it first, fumbled for the door. My flashlight blinked back on all by itself. It shined straight into the rearview mirror. And I saw him, standing behind the car, lifting one pale, malformed hand and gently tapping the window. I screamed, hit the gas. We nearly crashed through the fence. Everyone was yelling, panicking. We didn't stop until we reached the main road. The next morning, Jake got a text from an unknown number. No words, just a photo. It was a picture of the four of us, standing outside that house. But the photo was taken from inside through the window, from right behind us. None of us took it, and no one ever should have been inside. Story 3. The couple at the resort. I never thought a family vacation could turn into a nightmare. Last year, my wife and I took our 9-year-old son Jaden to a beachside resort in Florida. It was everything we needed. Sun pools, laughter echoing through the palm-lined walkways. Jaden loved it. He's a smart kid. Sweet, but a little too trusting. That's why I felt uneasy when he came running up one afternoon with a red laser pointer in his hand. He said a man gave it to him. A special gift, Jaden called it. There was a strange symbol etched into the metal base, a fisheye shape crossed through with a jagged line. I asked who gave it to him. He pointed toward a couple sitting at the poolside bar. The man was thin, wearing dark sunglasses, smiling wide, but never blinking. The woman beside him wore a sun hat pulled so low I couldn't see her eyes. They waved at me. Polite. Calm. But something felt wrong. Deeply wrong. The next morning, Jaden was gone. His bed was empty. Panic set in fast. I ran through the hallway, heart pounding, and found him, walking hand in hand with the woman from the pool. She was talking on the phone sweetly. Yes, of course I'm bringing him back to his room. Just as you asked, I yelled. She stopped, looked surprised. Oh, I thought he was with another guest. He told me his name was Daniel. Daniel, the name Jaden always uses in his games. I didn't say anything. Just took my son's hand and walked away. My pulse didn't slow for hours. We reported everything to resort security. They pulled the security camera footage. But there was nothing. No video of the couple at the bar. None in the hallway. Not even a single frame. Like they were never there. That night, after Jaden finally fell asleep, I checked the laser pointer again. It still worked. Still shined bright red even though I had already removed the batteries. It projected a spinning spiral onto the wall. I turned off the lights. And that's when I saw it. Drawn on the glass door of our balcony, the same spiral symbol smeared in something wet. I froze. Then my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. We'll see Jaden again. Next time he's alone. I didn't sleep that night. We checked out the next morning and drove straight to the nearest police station. There were no records matching the couple's description. No guest check-ins. No sightings of them leaving the property. Jaden barely remembered anything. But weeks later, when I cautiously brought it up, he simply said, "They told me if I listened next time, they'd take me to the place where the red light never ends." I haven't slept soundly since. I double lock every door, check every camera. But sometimes late at night when I check in on Jaden, I see it. A faint red glow, seeping from under his pillow. Even though we threw the laser pointer away, months ago. If you're still listening to these words, then congratulations, you've survived 3 stories that probably should have never been told. Have you ever experienced something strange? Something you can't quite explain? Leave a comment below. Your story might be the next one we tell. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. But only if you're sure they can make it to the end. And as always, lock your doors tight tonight.